Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Elliot.
I'm Johnny.
And I'm Matty the Fatty Bambino.
What?
Matty the Fatty Bambino.
Okay, anyway. And welcome to our next game in our LP list. I would say we don't really have a list. But,
Yeah, we do.
Well, technically, but...
You don't have to get too fancy with the intros there.
I know, but I'm just saying.
You need to relax, kid. Yeah, see?
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need to relax, you know?
It's appropriate that you guys are doing those voices because right now we are playing LA Noire for the PlayStation 3 and 360, but we are playing on the PS3 version.
It's Noire, see? Noire.
Yeah.
Mainly because this is
to be doing that all fucking.
it's mainly because this is only one disc instead of two on the 360.
It's 2 discs on the 360.
Yeah, since there's so much stuff in it, you know. So
Yeah, but the PS3
Now,
gets one take, see? Because
okay.
the PS3 don't like to fuck around with the hardware. Unlike the Xbox 360, when it likes to go around being a poser in the hard streets.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to the 1940s of LA Noire, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one of our favorite Let's Plays of all time. I've thoroughly enjoyed this adventure while I had the ride. Elliot, how about you?
Alright, Capone, keep it down because Elliott's trying to speak.
Sorry.
okay, so this is definitely one of my favorite games that I've played on the PS3 ever since. So we are starting a new game, and yes, we will wish to replace it. And no, we will not skip the tutorials.
Yeah, so we can. So I can get a basic understanding because, ladies and gentlemen, I've never actually seen LA Noire in action. This is my first time. We didn't do any test playthroughs before this because I was confident enough that Ellie would do a good job.
Plus, I've beaten it about 4 times.
Alright, so.
This world is actually a really beautiful world. I gotta give my props to Team Bondi and whatnot and Rockstar for making this game. It feels really, really accurate to 1940s LA.
Definitely one of the best looking games on the PS3 that I've seen.
Indeed, they put a lot of effort into this. Save for the human faces, they look kind of weird for a while.
So-
Well, this is actually the first time they experimented with some brand new motion capture technology in terms of facial recognition.
Right.
So,
Well, reason being is because later on in the game, there's going to be some cases where you're interrogating people. Once you're interrogating, you have to tell whether they're lying, you have doubts, or they're telling the truth. It's all in the face because you can't really do that if you're just programming it. You had to have the face right there so that you can see what you can work with.
so while it's not perfect, because it does lead to some serious case of Uncanny Valley later down the road, you know, this is pretty much the future of motion capture.
Theoretically, let's hope they can still afford it.
Like-
But honestly, in terms of one of the things I love about this game is that it's really, really immersive. Like, I remember one time I played it just to drive around the city, and I got lost for a little while too, despite having a map.
Now, to be honest, I thought she had a shaved head, but no, she has hair.
Just tied in a bun?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I thought it
So,
was shaved.
I would consider this Let's Play pretty much our 2012 Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Only it's
except
not
this
summer.
is much bigger. Much bigger. Now,
Just to get an idea,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Just to get an idea of how long do you think the game's going to be like in terms of hours played?
maybe
Pretty
about,
damn meaty.
maybe about 8.
8 hours.
No, or around.
I would say around maybe 10 or 12.
Well, Elliot knows what he's doing, so
Alright. If Elliot knows what he's doing, I will not dilly or dally unless Elliot wants to go
definitely
show off the
multiple
city.
recording sessions.
Now, with
definitely.
people who know LA Noire, and people who think this is just Grand Theft Auto only set in the 40s and you're a cop, it's not really like Grand Theft Auto. The only thing, well, really, you can't pull out your gun at will, only if necessary.
So it's basically a crime sim where you're actually a cop,
Yeah.
which I'd rather prefer.
Well, yeah, you're a cop who's with the law big time.
Right.
So you're by the book.
Yeah, definitely by the book.
Hey guys, after this, I kind of want to like keep it quiet during the cutscenes if we can.
Well, you said the same thing for Resident Evil 2, and you completely shot that idea in the ass.
Yeah.
So no.
Alright, fine. Yeah, alright, we have subtitles here this time. But the voice.
Go ahead, KGPL.
It's not voice acting, it's acting.
Shooting at 6th and Industrial Street. Unit 16 William requests uniform assistance for an evidence search. 14 Adam, code 2.
Roger, 14 Adam en route.
Alright, here we go.
Yeah, it's actually Elliot does bring up a point. I know it's easy to say voice acting because video game and all that, but these are actual actors performing these scenes.
Much like Final Fantasy 12.
Alright, so we are okay. So we are now going to our crime scene. We are a beat cop. We're on the beat right now.
Right now, we're just plain old regular law enforcement.
Yep.
By the way, there's one problem I have with the game. I'll say right off the bat: the cars kind of handle a little shaky.
Why you say that?
Sometimes they kind of handle like bathtubs on wheels, you know. Realistic with 1940s, but a pain in the butt.
We have the Vic, Scooter Payton, a Negro male bagged up and on his way to Central Morgue. Witness says a tall white guy, our shooter, put 2 in the Vic's head and then threw his piece. I need you guys to try and recover the gat.
You want us to look anywhere in particular?
Give it your best shot, guys. The dead guy's a lowlife. I'm not expecting any miracles here.
And if we recover the weapon?
Bag it and return it to technical services.
You hurry it up, Floyd. We
I'm
got
outta
places
here.
to be.
Happy hunting.
Alright, so now...
LA in the 1940 hat squad.
It's the damn lemon face.
Now, I call the 1940s the era where people always wore suits and fedora hats.
Right. It's pretty much true of the LA 1942 or 48 Los Angeles hat squad or something like that.
Okay, so we're pressing R. We hold and press and hold R3 so we can look behind, but I don't really use that.
Same here.
So what we are doing, we are searching the location for evidence. Now this music is actually gonna help whether there's still evidence we can look at.
So if the music stops, there's no more evidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
These newspapers are actually important. There's
Do they
13
tell
of
you
these.
that the music is an indicator of how much evidence is left in the crime scene? Or is that something you just noticed?
Like, if the music's still playing, there's still things to look.
Dr. Fontaine,
But I usually look for the more important things.
could I have a word?
Right.
Of course, young man.
I really enjoyed your lecture, Doctor. Psychiatry seems to have a tremendous amount to offer.
Why, thank you. I'm always happy to receive acknowledgement for my work. The mind is the last great mystery in medicine. Are you thinking of specializing, Mr.
Sheldon, or Courtney Sheldon. I'm only in second year, Doctor. They fast-tracked me a year because of my experience during the war.
Ah.
That's what I wanted to talk to you
World War
about.
One or two?
Two.
Battle
1940s,
fatigue
World War II.
and
Well,
collapse
I'm saying
of
World War
the
II still
rest.
going on in the 40s.
No,
Can you help?
this
I
takes
would
place in
say
47.
yes.
Oh, okay. So right
Given
after
the
World
right
War II.
set of
Just right after
circumstances.
World War II, actually.
Trauma forces the mind to close down, retreat in on itself. We try to find ways to unlock the mind again through a combination of therapy and drug treatment. Hypnosis and therapy are powerful tools in the right hands, Sheldon.
I've been to visit some of the guys at the VA hospital. A good friend of mine, he's so far away. It's like he's wandering.
You went through a lot together.
Yes, Doctor.
Give me his details and I'll make a prognosis. I have a number of clinics in Los Angeles, Courtney Sheldon, and your penance, for your friend's help, is to come and work at one of them in your spare time, with what little spare time a medical student has. Is that a deal?
Is it ever? I can't thank you enough.
I'm not promising a cure, Courtney. I want you to remember that. Every physician has patients that he cannot hope to cure, for whom he can only smooth the path to death.
Prognosis saying your friend is fucking nuts.
Yo, so polo.
What?
I think he told Courtney that his friend was nuts and left it at
I will
that.
say something. There's something about the lighting and shading that's bothering me.
Which is?
I'm just saying there's something about it that's bothering me. It's minor though, nothing too major, but it is
Not
kind
as
of
bad as Shattered Memories?
It's kind of distracting me.
Not as bad
No,
as
I'm
Shattered
talking.
Memories?
No, I'm not talking about how shadows are rendered in objects. I'm talking about facial features. Like,
Yeah, you'll see. It'll really grate on you after a while. You'll see
yeah.
what we mean.
Whoa, look at that.
That one problem is that they all look all one and the same. Really, you'll notice that with the females we meet.
Ew.
raspberry.
Against the wall and blew his brains out. Hell of a way to go. Doesn't really matter how you go.
What is this?
Don't get all deep on
Is it a reflection?
something on the rooftop.
How the hell did you see that?
Reflection in the window. Looks like it might be our weapon. I'm gonna see if I can find a way up there.
All right, don't hurt yourself.
So,
And
whip
this
out the
and this is what
grappling hook.
and this is what fucks the killer in the ass. He throws it up on a roof instead of just throwing it in the sewer or something.
Remember what we told you to do in Limbo? Not to do this. Don't ever do this.
Yeah, from experience too.
Hey, it's a cop. He has to do what he has to do to get the job done.
Homicide guys think we are.
We can actually see what kind of gun this is too.
And contaminate evidence.
Yeah.
Smith & Wesson, serial S71893.
Actually, how far were we in advances in forensic science in the 40s? If you can take a gander.
I honestly don't know. Like, if you're asking for the complete history of it, I'm not the guy to ask.
Because, like you say, he's tampering with evidence, but we know who knows in the 40s.
Police procedure was different then than now. That's what I'm saying.
Now that chime you hear, that means that all the important evidence is done.
You're gonna also interrogate some really unimportant shit too, like cigarette butts.
Yeah.
Where were you on this night?
See if we can come up with an owner.
That's a long shot.
So wait a minute, you said all the important evidence was discovered.
Anything that the important evidence, things that go on to the crime.
To advance the plot.
Yeah.
But are there smaller things you can find that'll help you establish the culprit, or?
If you find unrelated things, he'll just say it's unrelated. Now, if we press select here, we actually see our notebook. So we have people, clues, and locations. So we're gonna go to locations real quick. Check out this gun store here. Says a destination, and we're good.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you're gonna. That's pretty much like your 1940s GPS.
40s touchpad.
And if for a piece of evidence, if necessary, you're able to press the X button so that you can investigate the piece of evidence further.
Okay.
So now we're just gonna go back to the car. Now, if you hold R2, you can run. So
one thing I hate about LA Noire is that for some reason it shoots the PS3 into overdrive.
What do you mean?
Hear that?
Your PS3 is getting loud. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I was gonna ask, do you have infinite stamina, or can you get tired?
If you keep on pressing X, then yeah. If you just hold R2, then you'll have infinite stamina. But if you keep on pressing X, then you'll run out. Now, if you press L3 in your car, you'll be able to put on your siren. That way, if you mess up property or crash a car, it'll be fine because they know you're a cop.
He's not shitting. One thing, Elliot, can you show us the map?
Let's break.
Zoom out, please, as far as you can.
I did.
This is the big ass map you're gonna be going throughout your entire adventure.
Jesus Christ!
Like
it's
I said,
fucking massive. And
There's
a lot to see
here. It's an entire county.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot to see.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Imagine finding 50 golden film reels in this mess
so
like I did.
I asked earlier how long it'll probably take you to beat the game. I think that map just answered my question.
Now,
Elliot, can you show us some collateral damage?
With the siren on?
Just the siren in general.
Okay.
Like ram a car.
Okay, here.
I think you're actually aiming for these people.
Yeah, that looked unimpressive considering the angle he hit it from.
Yeah, and I accidentally hit a person too.
Yeah, that you weren't supposed to do.
Accidentally.
Yeah, in reality, to get a 5-star rating on the cases, you can't hit people. But these are like the early death cases where they don't really matter.
Yeah. So,
meanwhile, if Elliot runs headfirst into a car, it's gonna look fucking gorgeous. One coming at you, Elliot, like that truck.
Let's just move on to the case now.
Right.
If it happens, it happens, man.
Elliot died.
No, he's not gonna die. I just wanted to show it off at least once because the friggin' physics, the collision detection, and the collisions in this game are just nothing shy of flipping beautiful. By the way, you don't have to completely ride in the squad car either.
Yeah. If you don't want to use your cop car or your car runs down,
or you find one of the hidden cars,
then you're able to drive it.
Did you find them all, Elliot?
Not all of them. No,
I found quite a few.
All right, so gold-handled doors allow you to enter. So
Officer
just like
Phelps
that.
and Dunn. Can you tell us anything about this gun?
Smith & Wesson, Model 27, registered Magnum. Chambered for .357, nickel-plated with pearl grips. Same gun used by General Patton.
You're not suggesting he's the owner.
No, I'm not.
You seem to know a lot about the weapon.
I ought to. I sold it. You know, this piece will stop a rhino. These babies are only available special order. Here's my Smith & Wesson order book.
You mind if I take a look?
Be my guest. This is about something bad, right?
Yeah. So.
Model 27.
Actually, like you can actually see the reflection of him through the glass.
That's a very detailed hand.
They really wouldn't.
That's pretty standard for PS3.
All right, so we are looking for a Model 27.
Right there.
Asante?
We're in luck. Errol Schroeder, 203 South Glass Street. Ordered the gun in February 46.
Last year.
Thanks, you've been a big help.
Anytime. Always happy to help out the LAPD.
You're lying, Sergeant.
He's the killer.
Call it in.
It'd be some
Let's see if
shit.
he's at home. Owning the gun doesn't prove he pulled the trigger.
Right, the gun may have been just freaking.
In for a penny, in for a pound. Either way.
And even if we go into our car, it just takes out the book automatically, so we can set a location.
Yeah, but, yeah. Unless you hold the L2 or button down, is it? You can have the partner drive you to where you want to go, but that's not as fun.
No, you hold triangle.
Oh, triangle. I'm sorry.
And when shit is about to get real, this music plays.
And music plays in general. And frankly,
That wasn't so hard, was it? Just because we're in uniform doesn't mean we can't use our initiative.
I guess
He's
so.
got a point.
Seems a little too good to be true. One-of-a-kind murder weapon bought locally using a real name.
I like how they talk about what they're doing right now at the moment. It's really great.
It really is.
Most of them aren't. Trying to get caught.
I call this a shortcut.
I call that a fuck up.
So, alright, the game developer is this Rockstar.
No, Team Bondi.
Team Bondi.
Rockstar
Rockstar
published it. Oh, okay, okay.
No, but Rockstar had to come in and finish it off. Really bad drama behind the scenes regarding this game.
What do you mean?
Allegedly, I hear two sides of the story, but the thing is that McNamara kept going back and insisting on perfection, and because of that, the Bondi team was heavily overworked, as in to the point where one of them literally described it as equivalent to working in a sweatshop. Eventually, when Rockstar's devs came in here to finish the product up, they also managed to score the original license for this game as well, so now it's their property. And Bondi actually ended up closing down.
Damn.
It's just a shame though, because if the studio could produce this, god damn, I love them.
Alright, so just to make sure we don't have anybody asking us or constantly referring to in the comments, Elliot, is there any disclaimers you want to make for LA Noire? Like,
what you're doing, what you're not doing?
What are you doing? What are you not doing for this LP?
When you start going to the bigger desks, you know, like traffic, homicide, arson, etc. There will be dispatch calls, but I will show one in the traffic case, and then
for the sake of LP.
For the sake of LP, just to show what it is. Other than that, I won't show any more. Just that one.
Right.
Because they don't affect the plot whatsoever.
Do you think we'll be showing off the golden film reels if we can?
If we find them, yeah.
Well, no, Elliot, they're really out of the way, man. As in, you may develop a whole part.
Then, Matt, I think you should help guide Elliot to find at least one. Or if he's in the vicinity of one, let him know.
I won't know that offhand.
Oh.
You're asking to find a gold reel in this big ass location.
Then it's just
the equivalent of needle in a haystack.
Then it's just a matter.
What do you guys want?
I'm Officer Phelps. This is Officer Dunn, Wilshire Division. You're the owner of a Smith & Wesson Model 27, nickel-plated with pearl grips?
I might be. What of it?
Then you'll be surprised to know that Scooter Payton was murdered tonight with your gun.
You're out of your mind. Scooter? He works for me. I have that gun here in my drawer. What the fuck is going on here?
You're under arrest, Schroeder. Cuff him, Ralph.
No way. You're not taking me down for this.
And we get to fight.
He's a cop?
Right. We are literally pressing X, you know, to punch. We hold square to block. We use triangle to grab him.
Boy, I
got something to say about that, son. I'll say plenty.
I give you the 1-2.
And we use circle to finish him.
Do you just cop a feel?
Ralph, you all right?
I'm fine. I hardly felt it. He's lucky he caught me off
Just why you were down for a good 2 minutes.
Keep an eye on him, Ralph. I'm gonna take a look around.
This is the only thing we're looking at.
List of names and a series of numbers. Floyd Rose's name is in this book.
Phelps, we can come out of this all bright and shiny with a commendation. Or stick our schlongs in a hornet's nest. Call it in, partner. And leave the book where you found it.
Officer Phelps, badge 1247, requesting.
So yeah, that's our first one.
That was the first case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get a lot more exciting.